South Africa has imposed an extremely strict lockdown in order to curb the spread of the coronavirus. It's proving particularly tough on the many poor people in the country.
At the end of the day, we're not going to die of COVID-19. We're going to die of hunger.
Women are suffering too. As the lockdown continues, domestic violence has been on the rise.
I can't carry on like this. My boyfriend hits me in front of my son.
The war on the coronavirus is exacting a heavy toll on people across South Africa. Life is returning to the streets of Cape Town, more than is permitted in fact. The countrywide lockdown began in late March. Restrictions have been minimally eased since then. Exercise outdoors is now allowed again, but only between 6 and 9 in the morning. The sale of cigarettes and alcohol is still banned. Few people may go back to work. Tension and anger are rising. This is a self-help group for women who have faced gender-based violence. Under lockdown, they meet in Caroline Peters' backyard. She was the victim of a gang rape when she was young. She now helps other women abused by men, in particular by their male partners.
In fact, domestic violence increased because you must remember, men are frustrated, they're locked down in the homes, they are agitated, and everyone is agitated and angry. Violent men is unable to move around, so it means that the violence has moved back into the house.
Rates of gender-based violence against women in South Africa are among the highest in the world. On average, more than 100 rapes are reported every day. But these women say things got worse since the start of the lockdown. They agreed to let us film their group in the hope it might encourage other women to speak out.
Out through the mouth. Shut up all those other noises around you.
So
This week has been really tough for me. It's been very exhausting because I don't sleep. I'm trying to protect my children as well. I want to get out, but I don't know how. I'm feeling broken. But I have little kids, so I need to get up. And I need to make them breakfast, and I need to make them lunch, and I need to do things for them.
Your abuse is emotional, psychological, sexual, economical. I mean, he abused you in those manner. How are we going to assist you to get to a point where you say enough? So you don't have to answer me now, but think about those things.
Kim's life has been marked by alcohol, drugs, and physical violence. She also says abuse by her partner has increased under lockdown conditions. But she has decided to break free.
Everything you said, I've been through it too. I have to tell you something important, so I want to stand up. I've made a decision, and I haven't told anyone yet. Enough is enough. I can't live like this. My boyfriend hits me in front of my son. I cannot love this man. I'm going to take my bag and leave.
I'm not coming back.
Both the pandemic and the response to it are making life even harder for many. President Cyril Ramaphosa has been praised around the world for his swift and decisive action, imposing a tough lockdown and creating a €26 billion package to support the struggling economy. At the start of the lockdown, the country was behind the president. The problem is that the poor are not getting the help they need. At this job centre, many are critical of the authorities.
They tell us we must reapply. Why must we reapply? Another 6 months? No way. What are we going to eat?
So what are we going to do? and the children are going hungry, sir. At, at the end of the day, we're not gonna die of COVID-19. We're gonna die of hunger because there's even no food parcels here in Cape Town. If I must put it like that, no food parcels for us. They say we must go to the nearest premier, to the nearest councillor, but there are no councillors. So what are we supposed to do now? I don't know. So the government are not doing enough for us.
In Cape Town, it's mostly private initiatives that organise food aid, not the state. Even shady characters are getting involved. Leon Meyer used to head the Mongrels gang. Now, he hands out food to his neighbours.
I know now, most of the people don't have financial-wise and something to feed their children. That's why I'm doing this.
Leon Meyer spent 18 years in prison for a range of crimes, including murder. But since the lockdown began, he has become a respected figure in the neighbourhood, says Desiree Simon. She has 4 children. Welfare and child allowance payments are only enough to see the family through half of each month.
It's very hard because we rely on people like this and our neighbors to help people that don't have. And it's unfair, and I think it's unfair, very unfair. We don't get support or anything. They only know you when you must vote for them. That's the only time government knows you. He's the only one that gives the community and supports the community. Nobody else do.
Some go further.
He, for us now, he is what we say, he's our leader. Because he's looking after us.
This neighbourhood, Cape Flats, is notorious for its criminal gangs vying to control the local drug trade. Legitimate jobs are hard to find. It's also crowded here. Social distancing is virtually impossible. The murder rate in Cape Town averages 8 per day. Pastor Stanford Hill has been working for 2 decades to try to end the gang violence. He says that under the lockdown, it has abated to some degree.
I like to think of it or call it a blessing in disguise, but it has really brought people together from all walks of life. Wherever I've been in the Lavendale area and Steenberg area, when I get to the other gang leaders, most of them were busy preparing food with huge pots. It's like the Robin Hood type of story, you know what I'm saying? Whether his motives are sincere or not, how do you explain that to a kid? Because let's face it, I'm hungry. The authorities don't look after me. Yeah, you have this man coming down the street and he puts a meal on my table for the next 5 days. What do I do? I'm going to respect this man. You know what I'm saying?
In poor neighbourhoods, gangsters can now be seen feeding the poor rather than selling drugs. It doesn't mean they have given up crime. It is more likely they are polishing their image and consolidating their position. Leon Meyer is clear on this. Gangsters remain gangsters.
Gangsters never gonna go away. I'm gonna be dead someday. They know that gangsters will always be here. They will always be gangsters. It's the way we stay here around and the way we love, they put us all together.
Are you still considering yourself a gangster, or that time is over for you?
I'm a gangster, I'm born a gangster. I'm a mongrel. I will stay a gangster. That's the only way out for me. And through this, I can supply my people here around.
Back at the Women's Self-Help Group in Caroline Peters' backyard. Now that Kim has decided to leave her abusive partner, it is time for action. She has already packed her bag. Now, they have to go and get her 6-year-old son.
We are now going to take him to the shelter. Sometimes part of the police's mandate is to go and drop her there. But it means that we could take another day
Kim's son seems cheerful, but this is actually a dangerous situation. Kim's partner doesn't yet know what is about to happen. She stopped taking crystal meth a week ago, and she's leaving him after 18 drug-filled years together. He is stunned, but doesn't get violent. Kim has finally taken this important step. She reassures her son, telling him she will keep him safe. Where they are going, nobody is going to hit anybody. People there will be kind, and she is going to be a better mother. No smoking, or drugs, or violence. After an hour's drive, they get there. Caroline asks Kim if she is nervous or worried. Kim concedes she is nervous, but says she is not worried. Relieved, perhaps, asks Caroline. Yes, very, says Kim.
I always feel it's a relief for women once they've decided to take the step. I'm very happy that Kim is here.
Kim and her son can stay at this shelter for 3 months. The hope is they can leave the problems they face at home behind them. But at the national level, problems are only set to intensify. The number of coronavirus infections is still relatively low, but is surging in some areas. The pandemic is not expected to peak until sometime between July and September. That means the lockdown will continue, threatening to deepen the rifts in South African society.